Først og fremst, den norske skolen har lært meg ganske mye. Den har lært meg litt impro. Jeg skrev et manus på engelsk. Jeg skal ikke prøve meg på å oversette det direkte nå, selv om jeg er ganske glad i en utfordring. So I think I'm just going to transition over to English, because if not, I'll be in a bit of a pickle. Thank you very much for getting the opportunity to give an introduction at this workshop. Myself, I'm very confident that workshops like this one are one of the core elements of creating an innovative classroom for the future, where we shift away from the very comfortable thought of learning more and over to the more, like the tremendously difficult task of learning smarter. My name is Rahman Chaudhry. I'm the president-elect, I guess you would call it, of the School Student Union of Norway. I know president-elect has gotten some pretty negative associations lately. Yeah, so I am, we could say, very soon president of the School Student Union of Norway, or Elevorganisasjonen as we call it, an organization comprised of student council members on local, regional, and national level, promoting the interests of Norwegian school students. And I graduated from Oslo Cathedral School, which is like 15 minutes away from here, last year. And I was, like most Norwegian students, very lucky to have teachers throughout my 13 years in the Norwegian school system who not only taught, but that inspired and mentored and challenged and put what I perceived as truth into new perspectives. They allowed me to develop academically, but the much bigger task which they also undertook was helping me being able to develop as a person. We've all heard this before, you know. The Norwegian school system isn't only designed to educate, but it's also designed to make sure that we become proper people. And I was very lucky to have excellent teachers. However, the sentence that my fellow students hear every single day, I'm very sad that the students from Sandvika left now, because I was gonna like jump over for confirmation, but what they and I and everyone else hear on a day-to-day basis is this sentence: we'll have to skim through this chapter because we have to get through the curriculum before your exams. Are there any teachers in the room? Great, then you know what I'm talking about. Ask any school student in any Norwegian classroom, and she or he will confirm that this sentence is very, very common. And it certainly isn't the teachers' fault that this is what we hear on a day-to-day basis. They're certainly doing their best to give Norwegian school students like a provident education. We can all agree on that. But the Norwegian school system is used as a channel to educate entire generations about anything that we feel that we as a society need to be broadly informed of. You know what I'm talking about. And that's a good thought. But the consequence is that our curriculum has steadily been filled to the brim. And we have to skim through chapters because we have to finish the textbook before exams come knocking on the door. So we need to learn smarter. Which of, like a cheesy thought experiment, but which of the following two is more beneficiary? A, skimming through the facts of the French Revolution, or B, immersing in the shifting political tides of the second phase of the French Revolution, gaining in-depth knowledge about the power mechanisms of the revolutionary forces, which forced through a change from monarchy to republic. Which one of those two would allow for metacognitive learning, giving schools, like giving school students key learning tools that we can use way after we've graduated? The answer, I know it's obvious, but it's a theoretical exercise, which I'm very happy to say that Norwegian legislators and students and teachers and principals and parents have placed at the center of our curriculum-wide reform, or fagfornyelsen. And one of the key questions I was asked to discuss was, do we need to change the way we learn in schools? And we definitely do. And the biggest change we need to make is to make room for learning processes that cultivate an environment for development of metacognitive skills. We don't have that right now. We're skimming through chapters. We're scratching the surface. The school students of Norway need to be taught methods that we can use long after graduation day, when we'll inevitably face unknown challenges in undiscovered sectors in jobs that don't exist yet. I hate that phrase, jobs that don't exist yet, but it was very fitting, so I'm going to say it anyways. So that is first and most important, the change that needs to be made in our schools. And this needs to be supported by several other changes. And I mentioned that our teachers often said that they needed to rush through curriculum in order to get through everything before exams. And this is the result of several issues, but the other predominant one is that our teachers don't have time to offer comprehensive support to every single one of their sometimes 30 students. I had a phenomenal teacher in the course Historiefilosofi 2 in my last year. Why are you guys laughing? That is a very, okay. Hisfil 2, as we call it, in my last year at Katta. And his name is Gunnar Skåum. And Gunnar is without doubt, does anyone by happenstance know Gunnar? All right, I was hoping to gain a little cred with him, but that's fine. Gunnar is without doubt the most insightful and thought-provoking and inspiring individual that I've had the honor to be under the mentorship of. But he wasn't a super person. He couldn't give in-depth tutoring to 30 students at once. There are several proposed solutions to this issue. I am 100% convinced that a national ramification of students per teachers is needed, but that's a pretty controversial solution, so we'll leave it at there. Instead, I want to focus on a proposed solution that I hope that everyone can get behind. I mean, you guys are already here. You already came to a workshop at Mesh, so I would be tremendously surprised if you choose to disagree in this. But we need to utilize new educational tools that can support, that is important, not replace, but support the teacher role in the classroom of the future. Through EdTech, a teacher can adapt her or his teaching methods to better give individually customized education to their students. Mer tilpasset opplæring? Yeah, right? Awesome. And like, I actually, we've all had some glasses of Prosecco, that's fine. I met with a Norwegian educational publisher like a week ago, I think, and they shared their ideas of adaptive digital learning tools, which were built on non-linear algorithms. You know? A program which doesn't design a staircase that you're supposed to climb. And when you can't get over that one flight of stairs, you're stuck there forever. Like an old school RPG PlayStation game. You know, that's not what... Instead, they proposed like an algorithm which would make sure that all of your data was comprised, mapping your knowledge on a spectrum of skills, so that your next task could be individually customized. And if that sounds familiar, that's because teachers have been doing that for hundreds of years. That's exactly what teachers do today. They look at every single student and they find out the strengths, the weaknesses, and how to give individually tailored tasks. But a teacher can't do that with 30 students. But if you could have new educational technology which could aid you in the task of making sure that 30 students are given are given individually tailored education, I think would come a very long way. And these are the kind of reforms that we really do need to initiate in Norway. And they're expensive, and they're long-hauled, but they are crucial. So to sum up, we need to change the way we learn in schools. We need to shift from surface learning to depth learning. We need to provide digital resources to schools so teachers can give every single one of my fellow students the individually tailored education that they need and that they do have a right to by law. And my personal hope for the future of education is that no teacher ever will be forced to say again that a chapter has to be skimmed because there simply is no time. Thank you very much.